Well, an Ontario woman has found out firsthand how the new tensions around trade with the United States can inflict a heavy toll. Now, she was headed back to the U.S. border a couple of weeks ago as she was on her way to a yarn festival. Let's bring in Michael Serapio to untangle all of this for us. They're nitpicking at the border over her papers? Is that the story there?
Well, that certainly is one way to look at it, John, because we're talking about a woman from Lindsay, Ontario. Her name is Heather Breadner, and she runs a yarn store in Lindsay, Ontario again, but also creates her own specialty yarn. And with that, she wanted to take part in a yarn festival in the state of Maryland earlier this month. On June the 2nd is what the date of that festival. And so she was going to go across the border to sell her yarn at that festival. Now, she thought she was prepared. She had obtained a sales tax license from Maryland, pre-cleared passports with U.S. Customs, spoke with U.S. Immigration several times to make sure everything was okay before going to the border. But when she got there, U.S. agents told her she did not have the right paperwork. They confiscated her car keys, held her for 2 hours. They even fingerprinted her. All a very scary thought for Heather Breadner. Take a listen to what she had to say.
So now I'm crying and ask if I need a lawyer, like, am I being arrested? Because to me, at the point where you're getting fingerprinted and mugshotted and you haven't spoken yet, things have gone very awry very quickly, and we had no idea why.
Okay, so a woolly situation. Is this just to do with the visa confusion?
It might be, and that's because, you know, U.S. Agents say that she needed what's called an E-2 visa to do what she wanted to do. But an immigration expert out of the United States who spoke to CBC News says, in fact, she did not need that visa class. And what's really raising concern here is that there are legal experts that say that what she encountered may actually have to do with Donald Trump's Buy American First policies, which they say is creating a bit of a pushback at the U.S. border with certain guards. It's making things complicated for Canadians who are going across the border. Take a listen to immigration lawyer Harry Chang.
You can expect more scrutiny and more difficulties during the Trump administration. He's made it clear that he doesn't like foreign nationals, and that includes Canadian citizens. So there will be greater scrutiny as a result of that.
And that really is what's raising the eyebrows with this story. Again, is this related to a Trump policy? Does this mean to say that Canadians need to be much more aware when they cross the border? That said, we can tell you that Breadner says she's out some $25,000 for all that she spent on broker fees, booth fees, hotel charges, raw material, none of which came to any fruition because, as you heard, she could not cross the border, John.
Thanks for knitting all this together, Michael.
You're welcome.